PLWHA, people living with HIV or AIDS. People with AIDS live in a constant fear of being exposed and judged by the society, often facing isolation and even denial of medical care by their own families. While some individuals with questionable character knowingly spread AIDS without regard for consequences, many innocent people's lives, especially women and children, are affected due to the circumstances beyond their control, like domestic abuse. In 2023, about 5.5 million women and girls were living with AIDS without knowing that they were infected. This is out of 39.9 million people living with HIV worldwide, of whom 53% of them are women and children. This painful truth underscores the deep stigma and the fear by everyone with AIDS, revealing an urgent need for compassion and understanding from every of our side to fight against this devastating disease. Despite medical advancements that can cure malaria, hepatitis C, HIV still remains a devastating reality for millions. In sub-Saharan Africa, 1 in 3 women, that is at the age between 15 to 49, has faced an intimate partner violence (IPV) in their lifetime, putting them at the higher risk of contracting HIV. Men who perpetrate this violence against the women often have multiple sexual partners. They pay for sex and bring home HIV with them and transmit it to their innocent wives. The link between violence and HIV is destroying many innocent lives, especially the lives of the young women with less education and less wealth. Harsh truth reveals the urgent need to address the intimate partner sexual violence. We are ever to truly fight and combat the spread of HIV in the future. The stakes are life and death. Let's not underestimate this fight against the evil. Harsh truth we all need to hear. There is no cure, no medicine for AIDS. Still, it can't completely cure AIDS. Despite all our medical advancements, HIV continues to devastate many lives, weakening the immune systems of millions and leaving them vulnerable to infections and cancers. The origin of this epidemic trace back to 1980s, where the doctors in the US first encountered a mysterious illness among the young gay men. Initially mocked by the name called as gay plague, AIDS soon revealed itself as a far more reaching crisis caused by the HIV virus, which crossed over from the infected chimpanzee to the human being. HIV spreads through bodily fluids, including semen, blood, vagina and breast milk. This is why unprotected sex, contaminated needles and even breastfeeding can transmit the virus. But there is one exception: saliva, with the antibodies and antimicrobials proteins that prevent HIV from being infectious. HIV cannot be transmitted through saliva alone, which is why kissing, including lip kisses, doesn't transmit the virus unless there is a blood present in the saliva. In that case, saliva can transmit the virus. Once inside the body, HIV attacks the very cell that protect us, the helper T cells, destroying our immune system ability to fight back even the simplest of infection. When the T cells counts drop below the normal level, HIV turns into AIDS, and this is the stage where a normal human body is going to be defenseless against infection that a healthy body would easily overcome. Even with good medicines, we cannot completely delete the HIV viruses once it is infected in the body, because HIV virus hides deep inside the healthy T cells, evading even the most powerful drugs. But what makes this more cruel, more tragic, is how it continues to spread through some cruelty of such human beings, leaving the innocent victim's life at stake. This is why it is important to be informed, protect yourself and understand the impact of the virus in your body, because HIV is not simple a medical battle, but it is the battle against a countless innocent people's life. Imagine a world where domestic abuse not only destroy the mental peace and lives of the women, but also it fuels the HIV epidemic. Now, it's not just imagination, it's reality. For countless women in abusive relationship, their suffering is compounded by the grave health risk of HIV. Abusive partners, often alcoholic and violent, frequently deny their partner to use the condom and contraceptives, often engage in the unprotected sex with multiple partners and spread the virus. The reason why it is accumulating day by day. In the culture where divorce is a taboo, especially South Asian cultures, these women face an additional layer of torment, forced into a dangerous behavior of social acceptance. To be accepted by the society, I should not ask for divorce from my abusive husband, things like that, and their voice go unheard and their health deteriorates as they silently suffer. They won't tell anyone about the abuse, that the man who's a monster in the home, who is inhibiting the pain and also the risk of HIV. They will not voice out anything because divorce is a taboo. The situation worsens with the dark reality of vengeance. Some HIV individuals, especially men, some women, driven by the desire to carry out the revenge against the another person, deliberately hide their status of the HIV status from their new partner. They view spreading the virus from them to the another person as a twisted form of believing it they can gain the lost sense of power. Previously, they might have got the HIV from the women that they have ditched, or the women who might have ditched them, and now they are in the revenge mode, and whomever the women they are getting into, or else the new wife that they are getting into a relationship with, they try to like get that HIV transferred to that women as a form of revenge, thinking about the another women. Imagine a nation that's just 2% of world's population, Nigeria. That accounts for a quarter of all the HIV population worldwide, especially babies. This is the heartbreaking reality in Nigeria. In 2016 alone, over 24,000 Nigerian children lost their lives to the AIDS-related causes, and many of the children lost their mother to this devastating disease. The same year, 37,000 children were newly infected, and nearly over a quarter of million are living with HIV today. The heartbreaking truth, it isn't really about, the biggest issue is really not about the lack of treatment, but it is about the lack of awareness. A lot of the people in Nigeria do not know their status, whether they are HIV or not. Many people are living with the false belief that maybe I'm not HIV positive, so they are not going to seek the treatment that their body desperately needs. As John Cohen from Science point out, that mother to child transmission is the most glaring issue. Although it's very challenging, but it is preventable. If we could ensure that 92% of the women know their HIV status, we could make a significant stride in its elimination. But without widespread awareness and testing, the cycle of suffering will continue. The stakes are really high in sub-Saharan Africa. Over 70% of the HIV cases resides there, and in US the virus claims over 70,000 of the cases annually. Despite advancement in treatment, the struggle is still ongoing. Groundbreaking method to eradicate HIV, such as reactivating the infected cells in the HIV patients to destroy that viruses, and developing the genetic tools inside one's own body to remove the HIV from the DNA, is making some little hope to the mankind. We face the harsh reality of HIV and the domestic abuse. Our heart aches for the women, especially the women and the child who are trapped in this domestic abuse cycle of suffering. Their story highlights the relationship between the violence and the abuse and the health, urging us to address the cause of the abuse, support the one who are in the need, and strive for the world where no one should suffer in silence. Innocent people should not suffer. This is a call to action, and we should support and put our efforts to spread and increase the awareness, provide testing for everyone to ensure that everyone has the access to care they need. Because behind every statistics there is a life, and every life deserves a chance to be free from the shadow of HIV. Let's come together to make a difference, because every life matters and every effort counts. Together we can transform this world and our heartbreak into hope, and our work towards a better future where every person can live free from fear and disease which they are not responsible for in the first place.